more white people not wanting to take accountability for the things they have done or the things they're doing, the things happened in the past. They don't want to take accountability. This here is another case of it. Down in Florida, they making it mandatory that they got to teach your kids that slavery had a benefit for them. This is wild. Ron DeSantis, oh my bad, that's not his name, but Ron DeSantis, Satan, defends new Florida school curriculum to teach slavery's benefits. They said the scholars are behind. I don't give a fuck what the scholars are behind. Before we get into this, man, please hit them likes for me. Please hit that subscribe. Please hit that notification so you can be notified for these vibes like this is what I'm dropping it. Back in the middle with an immaculate feeling. It's your man, 4 Wings and Fries. Yeah, man. No condoms media. This is some complete and utter bullshit. How you gonna say slavery had benefits to black people when we were held in bondage, captive, being beaten, sold, raped, all types of shit, and you gonna say slavery had benefits from it? I can end the video right there. I ain't even gotta say no more. You sound wild. That sound racist. That sound like you trying to sweeten up the shit. You feel me? You trying to I'm at a lack for words right now because it's some complete bullshit. It's like you trying to change history by teaching these kids. You're basically saying it was okay, and if it wasn't for slavery, we weren't going to have any skills. And you're going to put this into the minds of the kid, and you're going to further little white kids to believe, oh, it wasn't that bad. Y'all should just shut up about it. You're going to further white supremacy, having them thinking, oh, it ain't that fucking bad. Fuck them niggas. And slavery just what it was. And they need to just be quiet about it and stop complaining. And now, hey, they had benefits from it. Man, fuck out of here. I'm going to read a little bit about it. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said on Friday that new education standards around teaching slavery in Florida schools will show that enslaved people were able to parlay the skills that they were forced to learn. Forced to learn. Talk about that. Let's talk about the evils and the benefits that peoples and white families and companies are still benefiting from slavery. Still benefiting from black people going to work. Still benefiting of what the fuck didn't happen. You feel me? Back in the day. Still benefiting. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the evilness that slavery brought upon. Let's talk about that. Talk about that in schools. Talk about what the fuck y'all did. Don't try to lighten up our shit by trying to say like we had helpful effects in slavery, that it was useful of us being a slave. That's what the fuck you sound like you saying. You trying to teach this shit to the kids. DeSantis, who was speaking to reporters during an event in Utah, defended a new set of academic standards in the state that will require middle schools to teach that enslaved people develop skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit. At the fucking time, how was it beneficial for a slave to have these skills? Why? Because when slaves, we were freed or whatever, we didn't have no place to live. We didn't have no way to feed ourselves, no means of functioning. So we go back to being forced to work for y'all. So the shit that we learned as a slave, now we got to come fucking work for y'all just to be back on the plantation so we can rent a fucking shack. You feel me? How the fuck was that beneficial to a slave? A lot of shit back in the day, let's just be honest. Black people and slaves taught y'all how to do certain shit. You feel me? Even at the beginning of the civilization, we were the original people. We were the melanated ones. We were the chosen ones who taught you how to do certain things. So don't get it fucked up talking about, yeah, it was beneficial to slaves to learn these things we was forcing them to do. Trying to make it seem like we was fucking wild. And you're trying to teach this shit to the kids. Fuck Florida and they school academic programs or whatever the fuck. This is some bullshit. And they allowed this. So they let me know what type of time that, I'm going to say America. Let me know what type of time America is on. Florida. All of them fucking states. Don't bring this bullshit to my son's school because I'm going to tell you, I'll pull him out. You're not going to be teaching this bullshit talking about it was beneficial for him to be in bondage. It was beneficial for him to get whooped lashes to where his skin is falling off your fucking back. You're not gonna teach him that it was beneficial for their mothers, their families, their daddies to get ripped apart by horses going in certain directions tied to limbs and all that. You're not going to tell me that slavery was beneficial. You're not going to preach this shit to my fucking kids. It's not going down. It's not happening. A line that has ignited significant controversy amongst teachers, groups, and parents in the state. They're probably going to show that some of the folks that eventually parlayed, being a blacksmith into doing things later in life, DeSantis said, adding that scholars put together the standards, which he said were rooted in whatever is factual. Fuck your factual, because you're not saying all factual shit. Talk about how y'all benefited from the pain, the murder, the suffering, the raping of kids, women, and men, buck breaking, all of this type of shit. Talk about how you benefited from it. Incorporate that into the school curriculum and program. I bet you ain't teaching the kids that shit. I bet you ain't teaching the kids that shit, man. D. Satan also tried to distance himself from the standard, saying, I didn't do it. I wasn't involved. Now look at you trying to remove yourself since you're getting backlash from it. But you was all standing up for this shit a couple days ago, but now you're receiving backlash. Oh, I didn't do it. Fuck you. You part of it. You the governor. Fuck you too. You feel me? But the standards which were approved by Florida's Board of Education last week, despite pleas from a statewide teachers union, it was approved. The teachers said, nah, we not teaching this bullshit. We need to go another direction. We don't want to do this. And it was approved anyway. Because they want to lighten up their shit. White people want to make it look like they're not so bad after all. You feel me? They want to, we treated them okay. They had benefits from it. They learned a thing or two. Man, fuck out of here. Let me read that again. But the standards which were approved by Florida's Board of Education last week, despite pleas from a statewide teachers union, come in response to the state's 2022 Stop Woke Act. I don't like the way that shit sound. Why are you trying to stop the woke people? People from waking up. People from who were in a slumber state. People who were in the sunken place. People who were asleep. And now they waking up to certain things and certain issues that we were dealing with. And certain things that's going on. Certain things, the trials and tribulations that we endure as black people. Becoming aware of that. Now you're trying to stop them from being aware of it. A piece of legislation championed by DeSantis himself. So you was part of this shit. You championed this shit. It said it came in 2020. You was part of the Stop Woke Act. Now you're backing out since everybody going against you because you want to save your little governor position and all that. You's a bitch. You was part of that. You feel me? That stated that race must be taught in an objective manner. That does not indoctrinate or persuade students to a particular point of view. I think everybody should have that point of view about the fucking truth. You should have a point of view, but you gotta stay factual. Like they said, they only talking about the act that they putting in that schools must say that slavery had benefits. You talking about the scholars then came up with this standard and this new curriculum, and that they was rooted in whatever is factual, and that is not factual that we benefited from slavery. Because if we benefited from slavery, I think black people would be doing much better in life right now as we speak. So yeah, use a bitch, and yeah. Yeah. The act pushed far-right lawmakers rhetoric that teaching black history makes white people feel ashamed. And you should feel ashamed for some shit that you done fucked up, and you know it's fucked up, and ain't nobody apologizing, and ain't nobody really trying to make it right. You should feel ashamed. And I think a lot of them don't feel ashamed. A lot of them would wish that shit would continue on being fucked up and harsh for black people. They don't want to feel guilty or responsible for any actions that they committed You feel me? None of that. And I'm not saying that they did it, but you still benefiting off of pain from slavery. All of y'all. Yeah, all of y'all. According to the newly approved education guidelines in Florida, middle school teachers must now teach students about the various duties and trades performed by slaves. Agricultural work, painting, carpentry, tailoring, domestic service, blacksmithing, transportation. A benchmark clarification listed in the standards includes the note that teachers should also instruct that enslaved people develop skills. We already knew how to do most of the shit. We knew how to fuck we was doing over there in Africa and other sorts of places before y'all came over there and fucking with us. Talk about that. We knew what the fuck we was doing. Y'all stole us and y'all tried to tell us some shit that y'all wanted us to do. Don't try to say it was beneficial. You some lying ass motherfuckers. I don't want to read no more about this shit. Fuck the governor down there in Florida, the Satan, whatever the fuck his name is. Fuck him. Fuck Florida. Fuck the school curriculum board down there in Florida. And fuck you as a staff, as a record label, and as a motherfucking crew. It's your man, Ball here. Take 4 wings and fries. Please hit them likes and please hit them subscribes. Please hit that notification. Hit that notification bell as well so you can be notified for these vibes like this one. You already know what this is, man. No Condoms Media.